So check it out. I found some interesting reading material for this neat project that I heard about,
Here we
and
go.
it's an interesting concept, especially given some of the things that we've talked about. It's called the Golden Ratio Token. Okay, and what this gentleman is doing, he's been in the industry for a while, and he had this idea. He said, how many projects with projects slash scams, et cetera, and that the entire thing is we're gonna pull in a bunch of money through the token sale, and that's going to be the value that we created, right? And essentially, the problem in many cases is they take that value for themselves and they run away. Uh, so
Mhm.
the golden ratio token, excuse me, is trying to do something a little bit different as a proof of concept, and it really is just a big experiment. The idea is to create value from nothing. Okay, in other words, simply from the issuance of the token. And the control on this, how do you say, well, how do you make sure of that? Is that the token is not for sale. They're not selling any of these tokens. If you remember, Hoboho coin was given away freely to anybody that wanted it. Similar thing, except this has an extremely small supply. I don't remember what
How
they're.
small are we talking?
We're talking damn small. It may be on the order of like 40,000 tokens. It's a really,
Nice.
yeah, it's a really small supply, and every single one of them is going to be given around in the industry. I think if you go to their website, they have a partners page, and they show some of the um, different entities in the community or whatever that they're participating with in this project. So part of that is to get the token on exchanges and have now people that got it for free. They're certainly free to sell it on the exchange, and then you can have some value come from there. So you're not so much saying to people invest, but other people are coming along and making that decision for themselves based on hearing something. So it's an interesting concept. The way that they're doing it is it's time limited, and they have set a 90-day window on creating this value from nothing. And that puts them out to the 6th of July of this year. And what's going to happen is that they're doing something called the evaluation. And when I see it, they have it in quotes on the website, which is why I did the air quotes. And it reminds me of some. There's a religion here. I think they're called the Seventh Day Adventists, but they have this guy in the 1800s. He predicted the return of Jesus and rapture or whatever, and then that didn't happen. And afterwards, they were all sort of left standing there, and they call this event to this day the Great Disappointment. That was the great disappointment. So when I see something like that, the evaluation, I think it's something of a similar magnitude. What they're going to do is they're going to take a look and see. So that's 19 days from now. What the actual results are. So we issued this token, we spread them around the industry. Were we able to convince any exchanges to list us? Is anybody trading in the token there? Has the token achieved any value? All without an initial sale. Golden ratio token.
I'm assuming from what you've told me so far that it might be a proof of stake coin.
It's a token.
So is it a proof of stake coin
E-
token?
ER, ERC20 token.
Oh, okay.
Hmm?
I thought I heard an echo there. So is the window for airdropping it July 6th? Is that the final day for the airdrop? Is it?
No, they've already got them out. Here it is. Okay, so I guess the supply, I was even lower than that. The supply is like 20,000, dude. And 14,925 have already been put into people's hands. 1,254 are still available that they'll be distributing. So I guess as they approach that deadline, they expect to go to zero with what they're going to give out.
So how do we get our hands on some?
Hmm. Well, I guess you got to go to their website. You got to go and click on the link to contact them and convince them that they should give them to you. They don't, as far as I can see, there's no public way to request them or ask for them. It's simply who they're going to give it to.
So do you know if there's a set amount they give out to individuals, or is it a case by case? How will they
It,
feel on that day?
Yeah, if you look, it's all very, high level. They do have a white paper, which I confess to not having read. So that information might be contained in there. They have it on their website.
Okay.
They wrote up the whole experiment. The interesting thing is that a white paper for something like that is going to read just as much like a psychology thesis, for an experiment. 'Cause that's really what this is, an experiment, which is interesting. I mean, like it or hate it, what it's going to produce is in 90 days there's going to be a set of conclusions. They have this thing called the evaluation, and what that's going to take the form is a report. That basically these are our findings based on what we were able to do. Maybe that's of value to
Got-
some in the community. If somebody else is looking to start a project, that might be useful information to them to see how somebody was able to create value from nothing.
Okay, Golden Ratio. I might have to check them out after the show.
Yes.
I love low circulating coins. I love low circulating coins.
Because
My
the
favorites.
potential there, when there's very small supply, if they catch any type of demand, that price can really go to the moon.
Look at Bitcoin, for example.